I started racing when I was 15 years old. I'm 21 now, so I've been racing for 6 years. I've probably done over 200 races within my 6 years.
Always do things the right way. Always surround yourself with positive people. People that have the same vision, passion as you in giving back to the community. But you gotta be somebody before you can give something back. But that doesn't mean you have to reach the top to give back, right? You can give back along the way, and you've done that.
So you are pride and joy of your neighborhood, pride and joy of the city. What you do really is incredible. We're very proud of you, and on behalf of the entire city council, all the city officials, keep doing what you are doing.
Well, you make Fresno proud, and you make our community proud, and that's something that's rare nowadays, because oftentimes we associate the youth with a lot of negative things, but you're doing something positive, and we were going to bring a proclamation, but we've already declared Aden Day in the city of Fresno a couple of years ago, and so what we might do a little bit later is that we do a little something a little extra for you, but today we want to come in and thank you.
Cái chuyện du là thọ yêu mong lu là, bây giờ yêu chuyện này mong chơi à tu thế có trong vấn đề tỏ giải yêu, u sốt là tua có sốt là bù con, cái sau đó cái là yêu chuyện này mong chơi tu yêu.
Aden, we are so happy for you. You're not already a champion whether you win or not. You are already a champion in our hearts because you're just a good, kind human being. And we're very proud of you regardless whether you take home a trophy or not. We're always going to be standing behind you.
Parents, right? So the cycle me to me on the way to the child là do ít là khu là do ít là một, right? But cái này cái gì đó thì là có with whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever it is that makes you Aden. And so not only is this a testament of follow your dreams and follow your heart and represent the Hmong community, but it's also a role model to show everyone in our community that if we just want our children to be happy and we push them, we can see their full potential.
Giờ chỉ mua tu lát president the United States này cũng có một connection bây chỉ một số tu trả lời thế nó, giờ bây tu trả lời thế nó là bây giờ chiến tranh de lúc khi lúc họ trông rồi thúc planet for far so phải rồi bây một bằng sự hoạt động như chỉ thấy bây lúc họ trông kia họ nói giờ họ bây giờ mua để tu giờ才这tu这才这有没本事被人到了我脑我去我呀都当着mà cô vào thế kia xe thì giờ chiến sĩ thì nó rộng khắp rồi cả tôi Aden cả rộng xe thì một mong em một cái giờ có bỏ cái giờ被tổ hợp sai đó anh này cũng bảo bỏ này cũng bảo bỏ ý sự hay cho bị chụp mong thì muốn nó sẽ là mình tên tăngกันมันบุได้คือกันบ่ต้องไปแข่งบ่ลักษณะของผู้อื่นไปแข่งกันศึกษาการเรียนแข่งกันได้ขอน้อยอย่างมัวจึงไปช่องเส้นแล้วจอดมงแต่สิไปเส้นที่เกิดเจอเกิดใจเกิดป้อได้ว่าสิตูเส้นไปจากละโต
ไปส่วนตัว中学呢他车และขวก็จักเก创立我们政治没本事เอกเทลมูแชมเปี้ยนจบเลยว่าจะขอไปจงมงกูถอดเสื้อเที่ยวก่อนไปคือตรงนี้là nên có percent bây giờ muốn là các loại chơi mong thếเลยจะนอนเลยจะเชื่อเลยmuốn chơi mong thếช่วยอย่าไปวัวอย่าไว้วัวมองน่ะแต่กูเขาควรซื้อถ้าเจอก็เลยนอนไปยังมัวเขาได้เสียนะทุกก็ตอนนั้นยังมัวทุกก็จะมูที่เป็นกูป้อแต่ก็ถึงชัวตอนเต้ก็จะชัวหอบเพี้ยแต่ไปมัวเลยเมนทุกก็ซื้ออย่าตอนเต้อย่าก็มัวเก็บป้าละชีจะจงหูตัวไอ้ป้าก็
I would like to recognize Mo Vang and Michelle Vang. They have been one of my greatest supporters, my greatest sponsors from the very first day that I've started riding motorcycles. And Mo, can you stand up? For those that don't know Mo, he is the reason why we are here today. He is the reason why I am able to race overseas. He's the reason why I was able to take these championship wins today. Mo, he was my very first coach. He is the one that has taught me how to ride a motorcycle. He is the one that has taught me practically almost everything that I know to this day. So thank you so much, Uncle. I am so very honored to be here today. I am thrilled by how much the community has come together to support me. First of all, I would like to thank the Fresno Center for having us here, hosting this gathering, and especially Pao Yang. You're over here. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pao, for having us here today. I had a dream and a goal that this day will one day come through. I knew it would take years for me to reach this goal, but I never give up. Today I am here because of determinations, commitment, and support from each and every one of you. I have just arrived back home just 2 days ago from Thailand. Let me take you back to the great memories that I have achieved. I was thrilled to be selected as the only rider to represent the United States of America, to compete with the 14 of the other best riders, representing New Zealand, Thailand, China, India, Japan, Australia, and Russia. For those that did not see, when I won my first race, I was proud to carry the United States flag. That was showcased more than 1 million times all throughout the world. And I was really proud, very honored to be the only rider to represent the United States of America. Before I left to Thailand, the team and I, we pulled up some videos and reports of each of the riders that I'll be competing and racing against with. We studied on their riding techniques, how they raced, how they rode. I am the only rider out of all the other 14 other riders that has not had time on that track. Many of the racers there, they live there, they compete there all the time. I did not let that stop me. As a professional racer, we always want to be racing at the best international racetrack and compete with the best riders from all over the world. I arrived in Thailand and eagerly wanted to meet the team and especially my machine. I was greeted by the team owner, and as he walked me to the showroom, I could see the bike that I was racing on. It was sparkling, it was shiny, and it had my race number, 55, on it. The only thing that I had to do now was to get used to it in the short time before we had to race. In order to win these championships, the rider, the racer, has to know the complete inside and out of the machine. Us racers, we don't just jump on any motorcycle that we did not quite know yet. During the first day of testing the machine, I knew that everything will be just fine. I had 6 sessions to practice and to get used to the machine before qualifying. During the qualifying, as I sped through every corner throughout the racetrack, I was placed in 3rd position on the grid. As I looked at the podium stage, I was able to see 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. After the race, there would only be 3 riders standing proudly on that top step for thousands of viewers to witness and to see live all throughout the world. I could only imagine me standing in the middle of that stage. The middle of the stage was the 1st place box. I had a strong gut feeling that even though I was starting in 3rd, we would go on to win that race. As the day came, and as the team came, the Hmong organization of Bangkok has arranged 4 of the Miss Hmong pageants as my umbrella girls, dressed in sparkling glitters that represent us Hmong. During the racing stage, there was hundreds of photographers and media outlets taking photos of us, and I realized it was because of the Hmong clothing that the 4 ladies was wearing. With that showcase, there was over 1 million viewers in 2 days when the news media released that video. It's really not just me winning the race that caught the attention of the viewers. It was the beauty of the Hmong clothing. The race was 12 laps, 4 miles long and 12 corners. As the race lights went off, I managed to launch ahead of the 2 riders ahead of me and maintain the lead. In the middle of the 12 laps race, I was 4 ahead and came to cross the finish line, taking first place by over 8 seconds. During the second race, I managed to do the same thing, but performed even better. The US flag was presented to me as I proudly rolled through the track. I took 2 championship titles back to back, which was really rare for a rider to do that. You might manage to win one day, but you will lose the second day. I managed to reach my dreams and won both days, taking the first place podium finish. After winning those championships, I had many calls from highlight departments such as the Department of the American Embassy in Thailand, the Department of Tourism in Laos, which is headed by the Hmong professionals. They came to congratulate my win. And most importantly, I was a keynote speaker to the Hmong Freedom Festival at July 4th in Minnesota 2 years ago. And I had the opportunity to speak to Governor Walz and the First Lady of Minnesota. Now Governor Walz, he is on the ballot as the Vice President of the United States with Harris. I got a call from the Democrat National Convention and offered me a contract to work with the college students in implementing the votes for the Democrat Party. I talked to my father and he told me that I was allowed to vote, but I was too young to run for politics. Last but not least, I want to thank each and everyone that is here today. My family, the community leaders, councilmen, mayors, friends and families, and especially Pao Yang and the whole entire Fresno Center staff. Today is a day to remember. Thank you, Fresno, and everyone here today. I cannot wait to come back home to all of you guys. The tremendous amount of support and love from the community and my family. You guys hold a very special place in my heart, and Fresno will always be my home. Thank you.
Okay. Championship races, how many have you done?
Championship first place wins probably a good maybe 100.
Okay. You know what people want to know, how much you win if you win first place.
You know, it varies. It varies wherever series you're racing with. Depends on what country you're racing with. The payout for the 2 first places was 80,000 baht.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were convert that the Thai baht money to American US dollars, then it's not that much, you know.
Okay. So why do they choose to race in Thailand instead of in other countries?
Yeah, we chose to race in Thailand because this is not our first time going to Thailand. We've raced in Thailand in the previous years, back in 2020. So we have a lot of connections with Thailand. We have a lot of experience racing in Thailand, and most importantly, you know, we know a lot of Hmong people back in Thailand and Laos as well. And you know, the communication barrier is always going to be there. You know, whenever we go, we can't really speak Thai, but there's a lot of the Hmong people that we know. There's a lot of family that we know there that understands Thai, that could do the conversion with the languages as well.
Okay. Why do you choose to race? I mean, why do you choose motorcycle racing?
I mean, motorcycle racing, it kind of came out of the blue. When I was 15 years old, I asked my dad, I was like, hey, next year I'll be getting a car for my 16th birthday, but instead of a car, can I get a motorcycle? And after that, it's it's pretty crazy. After that, we started track riding, and then after that we got into racing. But my mom and dad, they didn't want me riding on the street because we've had family, we had uncles and cousins that had motorcycles in the past that either got severely injured or passed away in motorcycles. So they just wanted to keep me off the street, and they wanted me, if I did wanted to ride, it would be at the track.
For you, what is the good and the bad of racing?
It's definitely hard. It's not as easy as some people think it is. You can have the best coach, you can have the best bike, but if you're not talented, you're not skilled as a rider, then you can only do so much. One of the bads about motorcycle racing is the risk of it. There's a lot of risk whenever we go out there and we ride, and there's a lot of protection, there's a lot of planning that goes into it as well. Our suits, they custom make our suits to make sure they hold us well, they fit us well, and they protect us at every cost. Technology has gone a long ways as well. Our suits nowadays, they all have airbag systems like how you guys have it in your car. And whenever we hit the ground or something, or we get into a wreck or we crash, the airbags in our suits, they will actually deploy, keeping us a lot safer. So, in my 6 years of racing, I've had my fair share of bad crashes. I completely snapped my left collarbone right here one time, and I fractured a good portion of my spine. And to this day, I still wake up in pain. I can still feel my injuries in the past, but I love motorcycle racing. It's fun, it's fast, it gets the adrenaline pumping, but there's a lot of risk that goes into it.
From what you describe about all the suits and all the preparation, motorcycle seems to be very costly. How do you cover the cost doing that?
It's a very costly, expensive sport. It's probably one, if not the most expensive sports out there. Earlier today, one of my biggest sponsors, he was asking me, how much does one of your bikes go for? And I was explaining it to him, and I'll explain it to you guys as well. My bike that I currently race on right now is a Kawasaki ZX6R. The 2024 model is like the one that I have outside here. Brand new off the showroom floor, they'll go for $15,500. But after all the modifications that we do to the engine, that we upgrade, that we customize for our riders, for us as a racer, after everything, depending on what class or what series that you race, then you're looking at $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for just one bike, just to go on and have a bike that you could go and compete on.
You mentioned that you represented the United States in the most recent race. By winning, what do the government give you, or what kind of encouragement do they give you?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough and I was honored enough to represent the United States when we were racing in Thailand, and I was the only rider from the United States that was qualified and eligible enough to race in that series. And I come back home, it's nothing much. You're just happy, you're honored to represent the United States of America. You come home, they congratulate you, and there's future opportunities that come with that as well.
I see on social media that when you went to Thailand, there were a lot of Hmong people, Hmong Thai people who came to support you. How does that feel?
It felt good. It felt really good to to go out there, on the other side of the world, and to know that I have a loving, caring community, not just here in Fresno where I'm from, or here in the United States. I'm able to go out there and to see the Hmong people, the Hmong community. They come together and they come support me. They come show me love. They show us around their home country. They show us the culture. I'm just very, very happy to have a community like that that's always behind me. And going out there, it was definitely different. I was telling my mom and my dad, I was like, the Hmong people out here, they speak differently, they act differently, because here in America, we speak a lot of Hmonglish, right? Hmong English, but out there they speak Hmong Thai. So their Hmong is already hard to understand, because a lot of them that we were with, they were Hmong Green. And that's really hard to understand for me, at least. And they have a very strong Thai accent whenever they talk and whenever they speak. But we work through it. I understand what they're saying. I'll do my best to speak Hmong to them. And I was out there. We all had a good time.
if there's a Hmong kid that wants to go motorcycle racing just like you, what would your advice be for them?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people, you know, in the past few years and recently they would message me about, you know, how would I get into this kind of sport. My big number one thing is to not ride on the streets. You know, there's a lot of risks, there's a lot of dangers of riding on the street here because, you know, you have a lot of drunk drivers, you have road conditions, they could be bad, and you know, there's a lot of vehicles and anything could go wrong. But if you want to get into this sport, I would take the similar steps to the steps that I've taken. You know, you would get yourself a bike, you would get the proper suit, the proper helmet, gloves, gear, everything to keep you safe, and you would go out to the track. And once you're confident enough, once your abilities and skills are decent enough, then you could go ahead and enter into a local club race. A local club race is the state leagues here in California, like AFM, whereas CVMA. Those clubs are your stepping stones to the professional levels of racing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.